coming. I mean, it's just crazy. So, yes, they love to blow up the towers because they were leaning and had asbestos in them. And a lot of people have said, look for a false flag on this aircraft carrier. But because we've exposed it, that may not happen yet. Your take on that?
Well, that's kind of what I was wondering. I was wondering if that was almost a preemptive sort of a thing where they, kind of got him out, basically lambasted him and, moved him off the ship. And I'm not really sure what they did to his career. But I'm thinking, maybe he was one of the people that was refusing to, kind of go along with the whole UN New World Order kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, they've been, sir, the last two chairmen wouldn't go along with it and were kicked out. The last head of CENTCOM, Fox Fallon, refused. I mean, it's not speculation. We know they've been purging the upper ranks because most of these guys are not traitors. They've got grandchildren. They love America. And they may have bent the rules for the United States, but they're not going to do it under any New World Order command. And so this is the big time to make a decision which side you're on. Good points. Good to hear from you. I mean, the global government's out in the open now. I've made my decision. I'm against it. Dylan in Montana, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, great to talk to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good to talk to you. What's on your mind?
Can I tell you a story about something that happened to me in Sarasota with the TSA? It was something I had never, ever heard of happening.
All right, let me write this down, because every time I get a call about some new perversion that they're doing, I look it up and somebody else has complained about it. So nothing we've heard has not been true. It's always worse, no matter how crazy. Tell me what happened in Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah, Sarasota, Florida. We went through the scanner, my family went through the security checkpoint, and I got my dad to not go through the scanner with me, and we both had to be patted down, and it was just ridiculous. And then we went inside after the checkpoint, and we were in the airport, went to the Starbucks there.
No, and they came and harassed you at the Starbucks, or then again at the gate? That happens all the time.
No, not even that. Everyone had bought coffee because it's 4 a.m, and there is this lady who's going around with a Q-tip swab, and she was dipping it into everybody's coffee mug. And keep in mind, this is after the security checkpoint. This is inside of the airport, and she's testing all. Yeah,
I've seen them. I've seen them pull people over in the airport. Like they're a cop, and they just come over, and usually it's a good-looking blonde, literally, that they want to get their little hands on, and they do grope downs. Oh, you're hot. Let's do a little groping. I mean, literally, they've been caught doing it. Oh my gosh, you're completely gorgeous. Grope down time. And they also like to harass old people for whatever reason. If you're in a wheelchair or whatever, look out. Wolves attack. But I want to hear your story. But I have seen them swabbing luggage and stuff inside. You're saying she comes up with her dirty gloves and is sticking it in your coffee?
Yes, exactly. And then she'd take it over to this guy who was testing it for, I don't know what, flavor or explosives or whatever.
And this was a TSA person?
Yeah, these were both TSA people inside the airport. And so I couldn't handle it, so I just dumped my coffee out because I was with my parents, didn't want to make a scene. Let
me stop you. Describe this. So a person in a TSA outfit comes over. Now, the Q-tip, were they sticking it in and then throwing it away, or were they just going along? Because they already could care less. They wear the gloves to protect themselves, but don't change them until they've searched like 400 people, they admit. They make you take your shoes off and walk through the flesh-eating MRSA and the fungus and everything. Describe this for me blow by blow.
Well, they'd take the Q-tip and they would dip it into the mouthpiece of the Starbucks cup.
Sure, the plastic cover, a little hole, and they wouldn't ask. They just come over and stick it in your coffee. I'd be like, no. Exactly.
And then she'd go back and test it for explosives at this other place. and it was ridiculous. So I went up and asked this man, I was like, so what just happened? Did that really just happen? And he goes, literally, this is a quote, he goes, oh, it's just more protection.
Well, see, they want to make it ridiculous. In the military, they make you do weird chants. It's kind of like in Full Metal Jacket. That's based on a composite of true stories where they make them grab themselves sexually and say, this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun. And people say, why do you do that? Well, it's about the troops do what they're told, no matter how stupid it sounds. When I say jump, you say how high. And that's all this is. And I'm going to have to look into this. I've seen them swabbing people's hands and stuff. all over the airport. But I've seen them take water away that was already bought through the checkpoint. Again, it's all about teaching you you're guilty. I wish you would have gotten photos or video of this. Other people, if you've seen this, please email us. Please Twitter, make comments at Real Alex Jones at Twitter, because I want to look into this. This is definitely newsworthy if they're now getting into your Starbucks coffee.
Definitely.
So they came over to you and you just said no and dumped it out?
Yes, I wasn't going to be able to handle it. I was with my parents, and I just didn't want to create a scene.
By the way, we made jokes about them wanting to do chest x-rays to make sure there's not breast bombs. They've now announced that in Australia and the U.S. They want to start pilots, and I'm not joking. They're now talking about in the strip searches they may start actually doing a rectal exam. I saw that a few weeks ago where they're discussing taser bracelets around your arms, Homeland Security officially is, where everyone gets a taser, and actually putting their fingers in your hind end now. I'm sorry to talk like that, folks, but and I think most Americans will actually bend over. In fact, that should be the new American flag, is like a big, fat Janet Reno type with a plastic glove on their hand and a man. Well, I'm sorry. It's unbelievable. And people are like, this is improper to talk about. They're doing it. We got to stop it. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, this is a short segment. We're going to get into some geopolitical developments with our guest, Patrick Henningsen. But then he's got an unbelievable TSA story that is definitely newsworthy, with a gentleman missing all 4 of his limbs. The TSA knows who he is, harasses him every time. He's a well-known motivational speaker. And we've got some video, too, of where you interviewed him. But I want to get this guy on the show tomorrow if we can. Incredible. So we'll talk a little bit now, get into that story, then back into other events and take some calls. How long are you in town?
I'm in Austin for a week until Sunday. And I'm going back to Phoenix, stay with my family for a few weeks.
But you've got some family with you today.
Yeah, my brother's here for South by Southwest Interactive Digital Festival.
Really nice fellow. Well, perhaps we should have you back for a full hour on some other subjects later in the week.
Definitely.
But I don't want to keep you from all the work you're doing. Okay, Patrick, investigative journalist, writer for Infowars.com, written for a lot of other big outfits. You have been really focusing on these proxy wars to invade Libya, now Syria, Uganda. I mean, Obama is literally launching World War III by proxy, but no one's resisting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the thing that's really, I grew up in America, Alex, so I live in England for 18 years, and I come back to the United States, and I don't watch CNN or any of the major networks. So the thing that's really a trip when you come back to the States is the way the media operates here. Just watching CNN every morning, and compared to British press coverage on international issues is very, very partisan in favor of the establishment. America, in comparison, is like partisan on steroids. I'm watching CNN this morning, and you would have no idea of anything outside of a very narrow band. And I didn't realize how powerful the media in this country. I don't know if it's the flicker rate of the televisions or what, but it's more intense.
Well, it's totally dumbed down, where they just say, bad man Kony, kill Africa.
Yeah.
And it's like, murder, kill, invade, peace, ah! And then no one can even find Kony. It's just like, bad man, kill.
At South by Southwest Interactive, the Invisible Children was this campaign with the Joseph Kony.
No, it's being pushed, force-fed everywhere. Bill Gates is involved.
They're talking about it there as a victory for social media and for social networking. And
well, anything South by Southwest is involved in. Lewis Black is a big globalist here in town. The guy that's his fake name, but the guy that runs it.
So I was talking to a lot of really nice people, really good people from good families, well-informed, but when it comes to the issue of social media and helping children in Africa and, Ugandan butchers, you can't even talk to them about it without fear of just being completely like...
Kony hasn't been seen in 6 years. The president has killed millions of people in his western back. And you're like, hey, this is just a reason to kill people for their land. Here's even the New York Times. They're like, shut up, fascist pig. Kony! And oh, really, where's Kony? Where is he in the region? Well, he's up there by Libya. No. This is in the middle of Africa. Do you know about the history of it? They just know nothing. They're just like idiots.
Yeah, Museveni declared himself president for life. I mean, they talk about Vladimir Putin as if he's some iron-fisted dictator. He's only been in power in Russia for 10 years. Museveni is approaching 30 years as the head of Africa, and he replaced Idi Amin. So the way that they frame who the U.S.'s friends are. If there's a president for life, I guarantee you they have a direct line to the White House anywhere in the world. Azerbaijan.
Well, my point is that the globalists are getting rid of my liberties and freedoms while lecturing me all day about how they need to attack all these countries. And it's always cynically about a takeover. I mean, look at Libya. Boy, we were right on that front. They have wrecked that place.
Yeah, Libya is destroyed. Ask anybody in Libya if life is better before the NATO no-fly zone or after. They don't have running water. They have electrical rolling blackouts in most cities, and now they've partitioned the country. And
the Al-Qaeda fighters have killed, what is it, like 30,000 blacks alone, lining them up, shooting them? Well, but that's trendy, though. Angelina Jolie said it was a good. Yeah. Attacking Libya, good, because she's trendy and has a chicken neck.
Yeah, and that's what you hear from people. Yes, but she has
a chicken neck.
He's a dictator. He's a thug. Assad, a dictator. Oh, what about the women?
But if you look like a reanimated corpse and a chicken neck and walk around saying I'm liberal all day, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, they rally around these. I mean, Angelina Jolie, God bless her soul, she's been photographed so many times with African children on each hand. She's a spokesperson for the UN or something like this. And
now she's an envoy, yeah.
And she's an envoy. And it's all about the human rights. This is a catch-all tag, human rights. And the UN is supposed to be enforcing human rights all around the world. All this is an entree to a world government and using things like human rights and human intervention to impose much more specific social engineering goals.
Oh, they kill them. The UN lines them up and kills people.
Yeah,
but their spokeswoman is with little kids. So it's okay, Patrick.
Yeah, I thought Angelina Jolie, she looked like Michael Jackson or any of these people. They looked human when they started out in the show business, and now you look at them, and I guess they've had so much work done or whatever.
Well, I mean, she is definitely a demonic pig. I hope she enjoys sleeping with the New World Order. Point is, if it's a war to defend our country, I'm all for it. But these wars are for big mega corporations that are openly establishing world government. And our basic liberties are being overthrown in this country. Now, I want to go to some of these calls for Patrick Henningsen, reporter, who's here with us in studio. Sean Stone at 8 after next hour will be joining us to talk about a host of news issues, including what he's witnessed recently in Iran. But I wanted to talk to Patrick Henningsen about something that just happened when he was flying back out here from seeing family in Phoenix. He ran into Jeff Lewis, and if you're watching on Prisonplanet.tv, we'll put this article up on screen for folks. Jeff is a motivational speaker, and he's missing both his legs and both of his arms. And you can just, again, Google Jeff Lewis, quadruple amputee, has an inspiring story. And we can put that article, again, up on screen for folks so people can see him. But Patrick Henningsen was able to meet him and interview him, and we have a video clip that we're also going to be playing that he did with him there at the airport. But Patrick, we've seen the incredible abuses of the TSA. We've seen them taking babies off